The House Ethics Committee now set to meet Wednesday to discuss and possibly vote on whether to release its report on former Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz. Gaetz resigned from Congress just last week after President-elect Trump nominated him to be Attorney General and before those findings could be released. The Ethics Committee, which consists of an equal number of Democrats and Republicans, has been investigating allegations and witness testimony that Gaetz had sex with a minor and used illegal drugs. NewsNation Joe Khalil live for us on Capitol Hill. So, Joe, is this report any closer to potentially seeing the light of day?
Well, we're going to find out Wednesday. It is significant that the House Ethics Committee has now rescheduled this meeting. Originally, it was Friday last week, but they could not meet then. And so now what we expect from this meeting is a decision as to whether the committee is going to make the call to release this report on Matt Gaetz. There are a couple of scenarios. We've been speaking to several people, both on the House side and here on the Senate side of the Capitol, where the information from that report is potentially released, even if the House Ethics Committee decides not to publicize this full report. One way that we have heard is there is a scenario where the House could find a procedural way to force the committee to release that report. That, I am told, is possible, but not very likely. We also may see a scenario where the Senate Judiciary Committee, for example, issues a subpoena for that report. Now, again, we've heard some Senate Republicans say they wouldn't take kindly to that, but it is at least on the table. The other thing we've heard from a number of senators is in the process of nominations, someone like Matt Gaetz, they always get briefings, background that may be in a classified setting about the nominee. So whatever is in that report, even if it doesn't become public, may very well be subject to senators getting classified briefings about what is actually in it, and they may have that information while they vote. So a number of scenarios now, Nichole, where, again, even if the public doesn't see the actual pieces of paper, we may get the info from it. That is why, again, this meeting on Wednesday is crucial, because this committee, the House Ethics Committee, is going to ultimately set the parameters for how this discussion and what happens with this report moving forward.
All right, so, Joe, with these controversies arising, and it's not just with Gaetz, but also Pete Hegseth, the pick to be defense secretary, of course, with RFK Jr., picked to run HHS. What is the potential impact on the agenda of the new administration?
Yeah, it's a really good question, because we imagine that right away in January, after Donald Trump is sworn in as president, these nominees will come up. And he wants to, as he's already laid out, move immediately on what's a pretty ambitious first 100 days. He's, talked about reshaping certain agencies. He's talked about the potential tax bill that he enacted in 2017 that he put forward, trying to do that again. Obviously, the immigration changes that Ali Bradley just laid out. All of that is going to take significant political capital. It's going to have a lot of energy that's used from his people in the White House to try to get Congress moving on certain pieces of legislation. When you have these nominations, if many of them are going to be complicated and not simple, as we expect with Matt Gaetz, Pete Hegseth, RFK Jr., and others, certainly that could block or delay what President Trump wants to do in his first 100 days or so.
All right. As we always say, we'll see what happens. Joe Khalil, thank you. Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find News Nation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.